Wayfit, can you repeat the book name? Yes, absolutely. Ogilvy on Advertising. It's like $10 to $15 on Amazon. That was the difference for me in finding success with e-commerce and Facebook ads. So as I had said earlier in the stream, I started e-commerce 2017, 2018, launched 15 to 20 different brands. They all failed. I had great products. I had a good offer. I had good copywriting, so forth. And I could not figure out why they didn't work. I read Ogilvy on Advertising and everything clicked for me. It was my marketing. I did not understand direct response advertising. And that was literally the moment I read that book. And at this time, I was working a full-time job. I was a software developer at E-Trade, coming home, working till like 12, 1 a.m. every single night trying to figure this out. 30 days later, I walked into my job and quit because my e-commerce brand, after reading this book and running Facebook ads using those principles, my e-commerce brand went from losing a lot of money, like $1,000 a month, testing new things, to making $15,000 the first month, $30,000 the next, $80,000 the next. And then that first brand peaked out at about $180,000 a month. I actually have a full length YouTube video on that on my YouTube channel. So Ogilvy on Advertising, cannot recommend it enough. David Ogilvy was a pioneer in direct response advertising. I think he got started in the 1940s, 1950s, ran all the Rolls-Royce ads, Coca-Cola ads, Marlboro ads, the Shell gas station, the petrol ads, everything. And his principles, the reason I love that book so much is because us digital advertisers, a mistake that I made a lot was I get caught up on the small aspects of Facebook ads. What button should I click? What budgets should I use? Should I toggle CBO? Should I not use CBO? How many creatives should I have in an ad set? So forth. None of it matters. All that matters is the principles of direct response advertising, and they haven't changed for 70 years. That's the part that got me about that book. Principles haven't changed and they're not going to change. So highly recommend that book. Amazing, amazing way to get started. So Musty says, what is most important to increase click-through rate? Is it the ad copy, scroll stopper, or thumbnail? So I'll put it in order for you. Number one is scroll stopper, because if no one stops scrolling, they're not going to click. After that, thumbnail is kind of important, but typically people have autoplay on, and typically majority have high enough speed internet connection that the thumbnail just is kind of a flicker. So yeah, thumbnail is important. Scroll stopper is way more important. So that's number one. The number two isn't ad copy. It's the rest of the video. So the way that we structure our ads, first 3 to 5 seconds needs to be just an amazing scroll stopper. Scroll stoppers are the number one thing to split test. You should split test it even if you have an ad that's working. Number two, we introduce the product. So 3 to 5 seconds scroll stopper. Then we go into the introduction of the product. That's about another 5-second clip. So after you hook them, you want to tell them what they're about to see, like what this ad is about, what this video is about. You want to introduce your brand and your product. After that, we go into about 3 5-second clips, so total 15 seconds of 3 different benefits. Not features, we're not talking about like the size or the weight of the product or the charge time. We're talking about the value that this product is going to bring to someone's life. And on top of it, we're trying to present that value in a way that changes their perspective. So think about whatever product you're selling. One of the best ways to figure out how to do this is go to Amazon, find a similar product or a competitor's product, read the negative reviews. The negative reviews will tell you exactly what the buying objection is to any product, and use that to then come up with a benefit that breaks down the consumer objection. So we go into that 15-second period about the benefits, what value it's going to bring, change the consumer's perspective, and break down objections. Then we go into an offer. So why should they click? Why do they need to click right now? Go into the offer, brief 3 to 5 seconds, and then finally about an 8 to 10 second call to action. So click this button. So we literally have an arrow pointing to the shop now button, and we say, click shop now, blah, blah, blah. Tell them tell the viewer exactly what they should do. Don't just say get yours today. Say click shop now to get yours today. Tell them what they need to click, what they need to do. Much more effective. And then finally from there, ad copy. So ad copy, it's great for the conversion, for getting the click-through rate up, but more importantly, I look at ad copy as a way to provide Facebook the ability to target my correct customer. So as we were briefly talking about in this stream, is Facebook's been removing a lot of the ability to target specific interest groups and so forth. Copy there. So Facebook again has some of the best artificial intelligence in the world, and there's this segment of artificial intelligence that's called natural language processing. And what this is the ability for artificial intelligence to read text, to understand it, and then pinpoint the person that's going to resonate with it. So look at your copy as though it's a way of targeting and selling too. So in that order, hopefully that helps. Musty, let me know if that helped. Appreciate your question. And let's go down. So we've got Matthias. So hopefully I'm saying that right. I think I am. So Matthias says, Dylan, I'm from Brazil, and business here in the DM are booming and have been for a while. Do you think strategies for DM are the same everywhere? Meaning, can I use American hot trends here? I ran ads for a Brazilian company about a year and a half ago. And it was actually very, very interesting because what I saw was that the trends that had passed a year, 2 years ago here in the US were now just coming up in Brazil specifically. But I also see this in a variety of different countries. Not every country, not necessarily like the UK, not necessarily Australia, but like Brazil. What's the other one that I'm thinking of? If I think of it, I'll say it, but it's very interesting. Specifically with Brazil, what I noticed was there's like a year or so delay between the trends here to the trends there. And I actually worked with, I had a student at the time that was crushing it in Brazil. And what he was doing was just simply taking products that had been fatigued in the USA that had crushed it. For example, if you all remember the back straightener, like that, it was that thing you put on your back and it helped your posture. That one, there was there a variety, and he was taking those that no longer really worked per se here in the USA and crushing it in Brazil. So best way to do it, analytical way of doing this is Google Trends. Look at the trend in the USA for that search term, and then look at the trend in Brazil specifically, but in any other country. And what you'll see in a lot of situations is USA trend was like up, down, but in Brazil trend, it's just going up right now, which means the trend is here. Ride the trend. So hopefully that helps. Matthias, appreciate your question. So we've got, let's see my screen. So we've got Serge. What's up, Serge? Good to see you. What's your recommendation for a women's fashion clothing store for Facebook ads? An image, carousel, or single image? So I'm actually running ads for a clothing brand right now, and when it comes to image, carousel, single image, so forth, we found that it really doesn't matter. What matters is that there's people in the image wearing the clothes in the environment of the target lifestyle that the viewer on Facebook resonates with. So think about like the hero's journey. So for example, when you watch a movie, think about your favorite movie. Think about whatever your favorite movie is right now. Now now ask yourself this: is the reason that is your favorite movie because you picture yourself as the main character, as the kind of the hero of that movie? It likely is. And it's the same aspect. So this is kind of something Ogilvy has talked about in the past, but it's the same aspect for advertising. You want to put ads out that your customer demographic can see themselves in. Maybe that they want to be, maybe that they want to achieve. Maybe they're living that lifestyle. So for example, like one clothing brand that I really like is Cuts Clothing. Super comfortable, breathable, has kind of a modern look to it. And the reason that I initially bought from an ad is because I'm like, oh, so this guy's in like an office, but it's still like, it's kind of like loungewear, lifestyle wear. I'm like, I like this. I see myself in this ad right now. And I bought it. So that would be my recommendation, is not necessarily to focus on the type of placement. Carousel ads are really good to show different variations of a single product, different scenarios of someone wearing it, different colors, different, so forth. But ultimately, when it comes to success with clothing brands and Facebook ads, it comes down to kind of the hero's journey concept. You want your consumer to be able to picture themselves as the person in your ad. So Serge, hopefully that helps. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comment here. Really appreciate it.